All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Eclipse season. I'm Triumph, and we're going to be pulling some energies in regards to this Libra full moon lunar eclipse that's coming through starting March 25th, and then we're going to have the solar eclipse on April 8th. Timestamps are going to be down below, but I just want to get into a little bit of information before I start pulling the cards for this eclipse season. Eclipses are basically full moons and new moons on steroids. Even if you're not really astrologically inclined, people can typically tell when the eclipses are coming through because the energy is so palpable. So we've got big faded changes ahead of us, and this is going to be on the Libra and Aries axis. So it's basically it's the me versus the we, and we're going to find that since we have the South Node in the Libra part of this eclipse story, we're going to be doing a lot of releasing, a lot of letting go in regards to relational dynamics, and we may be finding that we need to let go of certain relationships, whether that's platonic, business, friendship, family, whatever. We need to let go of certain aspects of those relationships in order to be able to stay connected and aligned with our personal desires as well, which is going to be like the more Aries side of this eclipse portal. So, timestamps are going to be down below. I think I said that already. But what we're going to do is we're going to pull some of the tarot cards here to see kind of what the eclipse stories are. And then we're also going to pull some messages from the Soul's Journey Lesson cards by James Van Praagh. And then we're going to pull some of the Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Krans. And so I'm just going to start off with the tarot spread. All right, so this is going to be a general reading, so this is not going to resonate with everybody. Take what's for you and leave the rest. But I'm going to go ahead and pull the spread. Spirit, please connect me with the energies of the collective at this time and bring forth prominent messages in regards to this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. What changes are ahead of us, what we need to be letting go of in order to have a rebirth once the Aries solar eclipse comes through in April. So what is the main story? What is the main scenario coming through with this Libra full moon lunar eclipse for the collective? And then what is challenging this energy, Spirit? What is the challenge that we are experiencing at this time for the eclipse? Okay, now what is the energy of the past? How have we responded to this energy in the past? Or what is the past story in regards to this eclipse? Now, what is coming through in the present? What is right here, right now, in regards to this Libra full moon lunar eclipse that we are experiencing at this time? Okay, and then one more message for any advice or how we can best possibly navigate the energies at this time. Spirit, one message, please, and thank you. Once we get into the actual reading, I will be pulling clarifiers if I feel like we need to have some more information on any of these positions. Once again, this is going to be a general reading. If you would like to have a personal reading, you can hit me up on any of my social media platforms. That's going to be YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or Facebook. You can hit up my website, recklessabandontarot.com, to also see my services and book me. My bookable hours are on there. I do virtual readings, and I also do in person as well. I also do phone call readings, so I'm available for whatever you need. Let's go ahead and get started with the spread. Before I look at the tarot cards, we're going to look at some prominent messages coming through from the Soul's Journey lesson cards. I'm going to pull two of these. So Spirit, what archetypes are very present and active during this full moon lunar eclipse for the collective? Alright, we're going to pull two of these. Whoa, that one wants to come out. And this one here. So, some messages. Oh, there's actually three. I wanted to pull two. We actually got three. So, we'll see what's coming up here. We've got friendship. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. We've got trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And then last but not least, we have love. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. All right, this is interesting already. Definitely with friendship and love coming out. This is obviously speaking about interpersonal dynamics, relational dynamics. With this full moon, we are releasing, so there may be a releasing of certain people in your lives or just certain aspects of the relationships that you have with people. But definitely listen to your intuition, your inner guidance on who is in your life that is benefiting you. And I don't want to say that as in like you need to be taking something from people, but you want to have more so of a symbiotic relationship where both people are benefiting from the connection, right? With this love card, it says, I commit to the practice of seeing good in all things. You really need to hold on to the people who are good for your soul. You know what I mean? Libra energy and the shadows of Libra energy could be people pleasing. It could be sacrificing your own personal desires and will for the sake of others, for the sake of compromise, for the sake of escaping and avoiding conflict. So that is definitely a prominent message at this time with these eclipses. It's like, there's no longer, point in avoiding conflict and disrespecting yourself to make other people happy. So we'll see also how these messages are connecting with the tarot, if they are connecting with the tarot. But we're going to go ahead and pull and see what's coming through with the tarot messages. Excuse me. So this is going to be the main scenario coming through for this eclipse cycle. The first card we got coming out is the Fool. Wow. So point blank period, we are ready to take a leap of faith, right? There is something new, a new path that we desire to go down. And it's exciting. It's inspiring. We kind of can't see exactly what's ahead of us, but we're using that faith, we're using that trust that, we're going to be guided correctly with our steps. So we don't see what's in front of us, but we are seeing the need to take this leap of faith to move forward into the unknown and have a new adventure. So let's see what is crossing that energy is the Three of Wands. This could be interesting. It's like we're seeing the potential in going down a new path, right? And we want to take this leap of faith, but there's almost this energy of having to wait for a certain potential to come through, or a certain it's almost like waiting for the green light, ready to get that feedback that it's okay to like take this step off this cliff. There's something that's very like inspiring. There may be like a vision or a dream that we have that is influencing this decision to take this leap of faith. But what is coming through is that it's not clear exactly like what's ahead of you. It's like you can imagine how this might feel, the excitement that you're feeling, imagining this new journey, this new path, this new step that you want to take, but you can't see it. And that is also like a message of the eclipses. There are times of divine fated change, and we can't really intervene with the energies that are coming through with eclipse seasons. And things get eclipsed out of your life, things get eclipsed into your life, but there is not always the clarity of what is ahead of you, of what is in front of you. But there is oftentimes this feeling that you're being drawn, that you're being pulled in a different direction. So let's see what's coming through with the energy of the past. What is the past influence in regards to this eclipse? We've got the Five of Wands. This could be about conflict. It could be about comparison. It could be about our energy levels and wanting to be a contender in a field that we're interested in. It almost feels like there is a certain, or there was, because this is like the past kind of influence, but it almost feels like that there is a certain like industry or something that you're excited about that you want to explore. energetically you want to take action on. And there are other people who are also into this and who are also doing this, and you may compare yourself to them. You know what I mean? You may wonder if you're as good as them, or if you have the same amount of charisma or draw to what you want to express, in contrast to how other people are expressing this same type of energy. When the Five of Wands comes up, it reminds me of like sports team and of like sparring, and like practice. But it's like a lot of people that want to exert their will in a particular area, and almost feeling like other people are better than you. I'm going to clarify why this Five of Wands is coming through in this past influence area. So Spirit, let's see what more messages we can have about this past influence in regards to this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. What more can you say, Spirit? Okay. The World in the reverse. This is about conclusions and something being left unfinished. So how does this relate with the Five of Wands? There's a certain way that you express your energy or take action that feels like it just needs to have a closing out. It's almost like the Ten of Wands, where you're kind of letting go of energetic burdens. But there's something about this way that you compare yourself, or feel like that you have to show up because other people are showing up in this way, and you want to be a contender, right? You want to have a say in this competition, right? But it's almost like you need to stop seeing it as competition, and the reason why you compare yourself so much is because you are almost wondering if you are as good. Like, basically what I'm seeing here in the past is that you're realizing that you can kind of just be yourself in regards to whatever this is. You know what I mean? It's like you don't have to compare yourself. You can see yourself and you can be inspired on how other people exert their energy, but you don't have to feel like there's not enough room for everybody, or that there's not enough room for you, or that you're not as good enough to take up space in this same area. And that is just something that is, coming up, like, within your energetic field, with this World card in the reverse. It's like you want to have a culmination, or you want to have a conclusion to that type of feeling on, I need to be able to show up in this way. Otherwise, you won't get what you desire. Interesting. I will say this, it's really interesting that we're starting off, the first two major arcana that we have in this reading is the Fool and the World, which is both ends. You know what I mean? The Fool is the new adventure, and then the World would be the culmination of the cycle. So I think that's really promising. It's like showing us that we're ready to take this new step and to show up in a new way energetically. And the thought of, being able to show up in a way that's more authentic to yourself is really exciting, is really enticing, and it's almost like, not like future tripping, but you're seeing the potential of the future, just to be like prosperous, or just to be a little bit more free, is what I'll say. So coming through in the present energy, we've got the Three of Swords. So this is the disappointment. This is the cutting off. This is the getting ready to let go of something. So I want to see, I'm going to pull a clarifier for this Three of Swords coming through. Spirit, what more can we see about this present energy coming through in regards to this Libra full moon lunar eclipse? Queen of Swords in the reverse. I feel like you've been holding your back on something that you've just been dissatisfied with. You know, it's like the Queen of Swords is interesting because she has knowledge based off of experience. And to be honest, she can sometimes just be seen as like the bitch. You know what I mean? Like she speaks her mind. She's not afraid to like enforce her boundaries or to basically just like let you have it. Like show you who you are, you know, based off of how she's observed you. And with the Queen of Swords coming through in this present energy with this Three of Swords as well, it almost feels like you've been holding back your tongue. You know, it's like you know that you are dissatisfied with a situation. You know you're dissatisfied with a certain energetic like exchange. But you know, you've been holding your tongue. You've been too passive. This could be passive aggressive. You know what I mean? You've been too passive in the way that you've been communicating or not communicating. Because Swords is all about thoughts, perceptions, communications. I think we're becoming more clear on what conversations that we need to have with people in regards to our dissatisfaction and the, you know, interpersonal exchange, the interpersonal like relational dynamic. And there's just a need to not be timid anymore. You know what I mean? To not keep the peace. You know, because when you're keeping the peace, when you're holding on to this dissatisfaction, when you're holding on to something that's not satisfying you, then you can't have a new experience, right? What do they say? The definition of insanity is living on repeat and expecting things to change. Things can't change if you're going to continue to hold your tongue, continue to hold your truth, continue to hold back on the conversations that you need to have, and, you know, being too afraid to kind of let go of something. Let go of a way of relating and a way of communicating. So this last card is going to be the advice or how we can best possibly navigate the energy at this time for the Libra full moon lunar eclipse. Got the Seven of Swords in the reverse. This is exactly what I was saying, you know, especially with the Queen of Swords coming through in the reverse. It's like you can't be timid anymore. You can't hold back anymore. Sometimes the Seven of Wands is interpreted as someone who is being secretive, someone who is not expressing all of the information. So with this coming through in the reverse, it's like, you know, stop only communicating so much and leaving the left to be interpreted. You know what I'm saying? It's like you just have to be upfront. You can't like have this experience where you're choosing your words so carefully so that you avoid like hurting someone's feelings, you know, when the truth of the matter is that you want to cut this off anyways. You know, you don't want to hold on to these things anymore. So instead of, you know, trying to find the best words and trying to, you know, communicate something in a way that's so almost like read between the lines, you know, it's like you just have to be upfront at this time with what you're thinking and how you're feeling. I'm going to pull another message here for how we can navigate the energy at this time. Six of Wands. Victory and success. I think you need to communicate basically what you see for your future. Six of Wands and the Three of Wands, appear with the Seven of Wands in the reverse. You have an idea of what happiness, of what success is to you. And you have an idea of the people that you want around you, who are there to cheer you on and to support you on your endeavors. And if there are certain people or connections in your life or ways that you show up in relational dynamics that's holding you back from being able to reach this idea of success, then you need to be clear and upfront about that. You need to let people know that they're not fitting into this desire that you have anymore, or this goal that you see for yourself energetically. You know what I mean? Yeah. Pretty serious messages here, you guys. It's just like, it's time to stop kind of showing up in these areas where you're only doing it because other people are showing up in that way, if that makes sense. Coming back to this Five of Wands type energy, it's like it's playing the game. This here in the past is playing the game for the sake of playing the game, not playing the game because you want to. It's showing up in this way because this is the way that other people show up. You know what I mean? It's like almost like a societal like norm or expectation for you to desire these certain things, or to energetically express yourself in this type of way. And you don't want to do that. And you've probably known that you didn't want to do that, but you've felt kind of, attached to it in a certain way. But I definitely see that you're ready to let that go. You've been ready to let that go because you're the Queen of Swords in the reverse. It's like you already know what you want and what you don't want. But you're holding back on saying that because you don't want to be seen as the bitch. You know what I mean? You don't want to be seen as this person who is unkind and cold-hearted or whatever, because you actually don't want to play the game in the way it's been played up until now. So be honest about that. Be honest on what is your actual sense of happiness, or how you would actually desire to show up within your energy. And if other people are not aligned with that, then it's time to cut that out. Or if ways that you relate to other people are inhibiting you from showing up, authentically and being able to receive that energetic validation, that energetic match to how you want to be, then you need to cut that out. So that could even be like a personal mindset of your own. You know what I mean? This could be realizing that you need to stop holding your tongue in general. You know what I mean? Stop, stop disrespecting your boundaries for the sake of keeping the peace. So we're going to pull some cards from the Wild Unknown Archetypes, and then we're going to close out for the eclipse messages. Spirit, let's have some messages from the Wild Unknown Archetypes for this Libra full moon lunar eclipse. That one. Oh, and this one too. So these particular messages, sometimes they relate to the spread itself, but sometimes it could just be a message for you. So take it how it resonates. Like, this may be just a message for you in particular. So you have the Castle. And then we have the Sword. Look, more swords, you guys. More swords coming through. Whenever I see the Castle, I imagine the Disney movie Rapunzel or Tangled. You know, Rapunzel kind of just like lives up in this tower, and um, she almost feels like she's obligated to be there because her mother keeps telling her that she can't leave, but that's not the truth. You know what I mean? Her mom, you know, keeps telling her, feeding her these ideas of what the outside world is like, but you know, Rapunzel still dreams of exploring, despite that. So let's see what the booklet has to say for the castle. It says, the castle, the palace, the penthouse, the fortress. It's no wonder fairy tales tell of sleeping princesses within castle walls. Like most archetypes, the castle is loaded with duality. It represents abundant riches, seductive fantasy, ornate wonders, and lavish adornments. Yet, the walls are thick, cold, and shadowy. This card points to a tendency to hold on to possessions, quite possibly a literal home, or a position that projects the image of achievement, while the soul longs to run barefoot in the forest, leaving it all behind. At times we must settle down, yet the castle lulls us with its spell of materialism, and we fall asleep to our deepest dreams. The castle can be a motivating force, an enchanting goal to travel forward, but it is best not to linger within its walls of decadent deception for too long. When light, this is visiting your throne of power. When dark, this is stuckness, depression, spells, and walls. So that's exactly what this is, right? There is energetic walls that are surrounding us at this time. And, you know, in one regard, staying within this tower is very safe. You know, you know exactly what you're going to get. But if you're dreaming of what's on the other side of the walls, then there is something that you have to let go of, right? You have to let go of a certain sense of safety in order to take a leap of faith and kind of see what's on the other side. So what is the wall in your experience right now? Is it, you know, do people in your life represent the wall that is keeping you within this castle? Or is the wall just a certain mindset that you have that it's unsafe to explore what's on the other side? And now we're gonna read the sword. Okay. The sword, the knife, the blade, the weapon. To use the sword is to decide. The blade separates one reality from another. The choice is made and all else falls away. If you find the sword in your grasp, you can no longer hesitate. This weapon requires a clear and decisive mind and a willingness to act. An onlooker may think the sword bearer is hasty and violent, but the most compassionate and responsible gesture is one that is honest, swift, and accurate. Our first encounter with the sword is at birth, when the cord we share with the mother is cut. This moment defines our separation from her and begins our journey of becoming ourselves. We must make these cuts again and again if we are to grow. Decisions shape our life, and the sword is an infamous shaper of destiny. When light, this is cutting through what is essential. When dark, this is hasty, backstabbing, a dull and painful blade. So this is so completely accurate for this Libra full moon eclipse. There are decisions that need to be made to cut away what is no longer essential, what is holding you back from being able to move closer towards your dreams and actualizing this sense of happiness and energetic like victory, success, energetic reception, and validation. There is just a huge need to decide right now and to be very clear on what you're deciding. You can't hold your tongue anymore. And I don't want to say there's no diplomatic way that you can do this, but you can't be passive aggressive. You know what I mean? You can't speak in a way that, you know, the other person has to read between the lines and what you're trying to express to them, especially if you are desiring to cut out this limiting factor that is keeping you back from having your victory, having your success. So that's the message that I have for you guys for the Libra eclipse. What do you have to let go of in order to actualize? You know, whether that is people in your lives that are holding you back, or just limiting mindsets and beliefs that you hold yourself that undermine yourself, you know, that self-sabotage your ability to achieve your desires. So sit with that. If this resonates with you, definitely give me a like. Subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube if you want to follow along for more readings in the future. Definitely, you know, keep up with me for eclipse season, you guys, because these energies are big and sometimes we can't really see what's going on. So something like this can kind of help you connect with the energies within yourself. And if you see your story here, then you can be empowered to make a change and to make a decision. So that's what I've got. Definitely follow all my social media outlets: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you want a personal reading, again, check out my website, recklessabandontarot.com, for my booking hours and my services. And I'm out of here, so I'll see you guys next time. Bye!